Hello, this is the Feral for hashtag Better Yourself Challenge Day 23. I know I totally slacked off in filming the past couple of days, so I'm calling today Day 23. And yeah, I had a lot going on at the end of last week, a lot of job-related stuff, a lot of house-related stuff, so filming just didn't happen. So anyway, today, what I want to do is I want to talk about astrojax. By the way, over the past couple of days, I have gotten in some decent filming, or some decent practice with my 2A style. So I am, I'm still getting there. I would say I'm still about 80%, 70, 80% of the way to, for me, completing my challenge. But then again, with these challenges, you don't have to necessarily 100% do it within 30 days with certain ones, where I think if you're, well on your way to fixing up, to getting in shape, yeah, maybe you wanted to lose 20 pounds, but hey, you lost 17 pounds. Wouldn't call that a failure at all. I call that a success, that you were able to motivate yourself to, lose a lot of pounds. So for me, with yo-yoing, as Doc mentioned on the radio earlier this week, yes, you know what? It's not as significant of a challenge as something like smoking. Quitting smoking or quitting drinking, or stuff like that. But it's something that's important to me. It's something to better myself. And big props to I think it was Jonathan Clark, who put on. Who did his music performance in front of his class. So today, what I wanted to do was to do a astrojax boot camp for Skip Lacombe, because I had my sponsors at usastrojax.com send over a little care package to Doc and Skip and Cal. I want to make sure Cal got in on this one too. I know he gets the shaft on a lot of things. But I wanted to make sure all of them got a nice little care package just to say thank you so much for doing stuff. And Rick, he's kind of the Jeffy of the show, I guess. My apologies to Rick and Jeffy. It's equally as bad. But anyway, so Skip was mentioning he was practicing with his astrojax today. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to do kind of a little astrojax boot camp, astrojax for dummies, if you will. So Skip, here's what you're going to want to do. So the easiest way to start with astrojax, oh, by the way, if you want to view any of these tutorials, check out my HD tutorials section on my YouTube page. All these tricks are broken down in a lot more explanation, so I'm just going to burn through about 5 tricks real quickly. So vertical orbit, take one hand on each end ball. Oh, by the way, if you want to join in on the fun too, you can totally make your own set of astrojax. The inventor, Larry Shaw, actually got the concept of these when he was messing around with dental floss and hex nuts. True story. So you can make your own set of tech jacks, which is what we like to refer those kinds of sets to, and follow along. So you're going to start, and a little bit of terminology. So the 2 balls at the ends are the end balls, and there's one in the center. Oh, by the way, we've heard all the ball jokes before. DM and DM, that one's for you. So you get the 2 end balls and the center ball. And then you got your dominant hand, which is the hand that you're most used to doing stuff with. It's your right hand if you're righty, left hand if you're lefty. So you're going to take the 2 end balls, and then you're going to take the non-dominant hand, and you're going to gently toss it towards your dominant hand. And then for the vertical orbit, with small movements in the wrist, when the end ball gets down to the bottom. Oh, by the way, I'm using my special Anaheim Ducks set because they're up 2-0 over the Toronto Jets. No, oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking. Winnipeg Jets. 2-0 over the Winnipeg Jets. So I'm totally psyched. They won the game with 18 seconds left to go. It's always a good deal. So anyway, so back to vertical orbits. I'm sorry, I'm completely ADD tonight. So 2 end balls, each in the end hand. Non-dominant hand's going to toss it towards the dominant hand, and then small movements is all you need. If you do large movements, chaos will ensue. So, let's keep it small, just like that. Okay, next, moving on, second trick is the horizontal orbit. So in order to start this, 2 M balls each hand, you're going to you spin the center ball horizontally, you're going to let go of your non-dominant hand, and with small stirring motions, you are going to bring the set into a horizontal orbit. So notice I'm making small stirring motions with my dominant hand, and I'm controlling the center ball. Ding, 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 ding. So that is the horizontal orbit. So those are your 2 basic ones. So now you can do what's called a butterfly. Once you get really, really good with the vertical orbit, all you got to do is just bring the vertical orbit from side to side, and you get the butterfly. Just like that. This one takes a little bit of practice because you're actually shifting your vertical orbit left and right. Okay? So, next trick I want to teach you is called Pong. Pong is based off the old video game. So what you're going to do is you're going to take both M balls in each hand. You're going to bring your dominant hand towards your non-dominant hand, poke it out, drape the string over your wrist. Just like that. You're going to get a little bit of momentum, then you're going to flick that center ball all the way over to the left. So it's back on your wrist, just like that. Okay? So you're going to go over, and then over again. So that's over Pong, overhand. So you can also do it underhand. So, if you notice, it is draped over my wrist. So then in order to start this one, you're going to want to just swing it from side to side, bring it up and over the wrist. Just like that. Let's get it. There you go. Just like that. Okay? So then you're going to flip it over, back to under, and up and over. So this is underhand Pong. So I'm doing it, you can do it pretty fast. And then you can go over, under, over, under, over. You know, you get the drill. Okay. So now, last trick I'm going to show you is called the Venus. Now, this is an extension of the vertical orbit. So, once again, you're going to want to get yourself in a vertical orbit. Then you're going to bring the M ball over your wrist. And then you're going to flip your wrist over from this point, bringing the center ball over the wrist. And when you do it right, you'll go straight back into a vertical orbit. So M ball over the wrist, bring the wrist over, carrying that center ball back over your wrist. So when you're doing it right, you do it all in one motion. Just like that. So yeah, so then when you get really good, you can do continuous Venuses just like that, where you're chasing this center ball around your wrist, and then the M ball is just going for a ride. So, that, my friend, is your astrojax boot camp. So 3 balls on a string. You could totally make these yourself. Go down to like Hobby Lobby or a place like that. Get some wooden big size wooden beads. It helps a lot if you have a Dremel, because then you can just kind of smooth out those ends and you can get them flared out. So if you can see this, that it's the center is a little bit flared. So you can totally make these yourself. Just take a Dremel, then just kind of widen out that area so you can neck down to a center point, but then flare out so you have a lot more stability and control. String, you can get pretty much any type of string. Kite string would work great. Just your trick is you want to actually get them attached. These astrojax come with little string buds. The ones that Skip, Doc, and Cal got, they have little pins. I actually have one with pins in my case. In the ones that they got, they have a little... Oops, wrong one. Oh, no, wait, that one's got string buds. Oh, my gosh. That's embarrassing. There you go. That one's got a pin. It's a little pin right there. Little black pin. That's what Doc and Skip have. And Cal. So, anyway, once again, the Pharaoh, day 23. Continuing onward and upwards. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow is Sunday. Go to church. The Lord loves you. He wants you to do better, and so do I. And so does everyone else that watches these things. Thank you so much for tuning in. John Farrell, Day 23. I am out.